many of you have terrible bosses? Okay, if they're sitting next to you, I'm going to rephrase that. How many of you have terrible bosses? You've had them in the past. Okay, thank you for raising your hand. I see that several of you have. So, do you think they know they were terrible? I don't think they do, and that's a blind spot. The problem is, if we can see theirs, do we have blind spots? And how would we know? Because here's the thing, nobody's going to tell you what your blind spots are. Your boss isn't going to tell you because that's a seriously awkward conversation, and a lot of them are conflict avoiders. Your peers won't tell you because they want that same new opportunity you have. And your employees won't tell you because you signed their checks, baby. So there you are, stuck, and nobody's telling you why. But if you don't know what you don't know, how do you uncover obstacles and become successful, right? So the first step is knowing where to start. Most people don't realize they are their biggest stumbling block. I know I sure didn't know. I was stuck in a lower level job for 15 years because I let imposter syndrome stop me. Now, there were some childhood issues playing into that, but the bottom line is I played small because I didn't think I was ready to step up, and that's on me. So let me tell you who I am. My name's Mary Ottman, and I retired as Associate Director of the 150 rocket scientists you heard about. So I went from being a kid living in a trailer park to a DoD executive briefing senior leaders at the Pentagon. Listen, if I can go from the trailer park to the Pentagon, y'all can achieve your goals too. The key to this is uncovering your blind spots. The fuel to your career, to catapult you, is realizing there are some things you might be doing wrong. Stay open to that possibility. And with that in mind, here are 3 common mistakes leaders make. The first is voicing negativity. I saw this a lot working with other engineers. If you want to find out what's wrong with your idea, throw it out in a room full of experts. Their job description is to find problems. But as a leader, your job description is to develop your employees. So voicing negativity looks like your employee coming to you with a new idea, and you say, "That's a great idea. Now let me tell you what's wrong and why it won't work." So you're just trying to save them time, right? But that is a sure way to demotivate your employees. Let them make those mistakes. They'll learn to become better problem solvers, and that's better for everybody. The number 2 mistake is punishing the messenger. And the number 3 mistake is, "This is me, take it or leave it." So I knew a guy who was so special, he could make all 3 mistakes at the same time. He would blow up on people when he got bad news. I'm talking big mad, like face turning red, veins popping out. He didn't just shoot the messenger, he ripped that sucker apart. Now, people would tell him he was getting that reputation, and he'd say, "Hey, if they can't hack it, they can leave." That ultimately killed his team's morale and ultimately destroyed his career. And I don't want that to happen to you guys. So let's talk about how to discover your blind spots. So to do this, you have to realize that it's going to take some vulnerability. Most people can't do this. From the aspiring leader all the way to the C-suite, very few have that vulnerability to do this right. And the tool we're going to talk about today is the external mirror. Now, I want y'all to do something for me. I want y'all to get out your pens and write something down for me, okay? So I'll give you just a second, or you can take notes on your phone. All right, so I want you to close your eyes and think of a leader that you worked with on some level that you can trust to tell you like it is. Now I want you to write down the name of that leader. Who'd you think of? So next, I want you to set up a meeting with them. And I want you to ask them, tell them your goals, and then ask them what you're doing right. And now comes the hard part. Now ask them what you can do to improve. Now, some of you guys probably think this sounds like a performance appraisal. That's not it. because your boss can only take this so far. And most of them are just looking at your SMART goals and telling you your outcomes and your results and how it all matches up. That's not this. You need to dig deeper and discover those behaviors you've got that are blocking you from your success. So now, this is the critical part. Once they give you that feedback on what to improve, thank them and stop talking. Don't make excuses and don't defend yourself, because they'll think you don't really want their input and they'll stop giving it. And that defeats the purpose, right? So now that you've got that feedback on what to improve, come up with ways to do better in those areas. And then every 6 months, go back and repeat the process. The leader you're talking to will see that you value their opinion and that you're executing, and that's a big deal. So here's the thing. I know if you implement this tool, you will become even more successful. And it will be uncomfortable to have someone you admire tell you what to improve. But keep going, it's worth it. And now I'll leave you with the words of Maya Angelou. Do the best you can until you know better, and when you know better, do better. Thank you. Appreciate that.